Oh, Faeez Jacobs versus Sibusiso Sovendle. I was really looking forward to this fight. I mean, the weigh-ins, as you can see, that Faeez was focused. He was ready. It was like he had aura. He was on that 10,000 aura level this entire fight week. So I was really looking forward to this fight. And Sibusiso Sovendle, he was focused. He was determined, even though the odds were against him. Not by much. He was focused. And one thing I forgot to mention on the last fight, I mean, the odds for Moyo, I mean, whoever put money on Moyo, damn, you made a lot. So I mean, underdogs sometimes win, but let's get back to this fight. Faeez Jacobs, Sibusiso Sovendle ended by head kick in the first round. Honestly, I didn't even realize it was a head kick until afterwards because you couldn't really see it. But wow, what a win from him. What a way to retain the title. Achi, you watched that fight. You were there that day. How did you feel when you saw Faeez Jacobs claim the title?
I think, man, that head kick just shows how like above levels Faeez is, because dude is just like from the marketing, from everything. Like he just knows how to sell a show. He just knows how to sell a show. And Spustiso missed weight. If yeah, so also that like plays into like the seriousness. How seriously do you take your job as a fighter? So that head kick, man, like great highlight reel for Faeez, man. And Faeez just knows how to bring that energy, and he knows how to take time, even with the entrances. He takes his time. He's not like itching to get into the ring. He just milks the situation and he owns the stage. Because like I felt like him winning the title in the co-main event should have been the main event because he was the guy. He had that aura in him from the entrance, bro, from the entrance to everything. So Faeez
From the
Jacobs,
weigh-ins,
man, big
everything.
ups. Yeah, big ups to him. Like he always puts on a show, and yeah, looking forward to seeing. I just want him to be in the UFC right now because he is that good and he brings that wow factor.
Patrick, let me come to you as one of the fighters on this panel. His performance, and like Aki mentioned, Steve Zissou missed weight. Faeez's performance, how did you find his performance? How he basically stalked Sibusiso the entire round. How did you find Faeez's performance in this fight?
He did very well, but I'm not surprised because you cannot compare Faiz to Sibusiso. They are not on the same level. Faiz is just way too ahead of him. I don't know if you remember when I said the last time that Faiz is so good at getting into somebody's head. If he can get into your head, then you know you've already lost the fight. You get my point. So when Sibusiso arrived there at the venue, he normally have this calmness and this smile on his face, but it was a nervous wreck. And I even tried to go and greet him and his coaches. The way I could just see in his face that he already lost. And I'm quite disappointed because he had a good training camp. And he was training with actually good guys. And for the fact that it did not make weight should actually mean that he's gonna struggle less. He was supposed to struggle less because of he didn't do a big weight cut. But then Faiz took advantage of the whole situation. He showed the levels. He showed that Sibisito doesn't deserve to be in that cage with him. And that's more respect from me from to Faiz Jacobs.
All respect to Faeez Jacobs there. Joel, like you said, you were ringside. I'm surprised we don't see you in the background there, but you were ringside for this. That head kick, followed by the very unfortunate spaghetti legs from Spusisu. Look, it
Spunky
is what it
legs, yeah?
is.
Spunky legs.
Oh, it was bad. It was unfortunate, but how much skill did that take to execute there? Because, like I said, he was stalking Spusisu the entire round until he fainted and put in the switch kick. How
Yeah.
much skill did he need to pull that off right there at that moment in the fight?
Look, I think this also just goes back to Faiz's preparation. When he was in the face-offs and the weigh-in, after he took his mask off, his sentence was The players aren't playing by the rules. I'm coming here to execute. I'm the executioner. That's how what his line was, and he went in there with that exact mindset. He didn't go in there to play around and play games. Sovendle was dancing around the outside, trying to just keep movement and change the angles the whole time. And every time Faeez was just getting closer and closer and closer, there were a few instances where Faeez fired a couple of body kicks with that lead left foot, which landed on Sovendle. And when they did land, we could hear the whole crowd erupting because of the impact of it. And then when it was time to now put it out, he just went up to the head. He'd primed Sovendle to defend the body. That's why Sovendle's arms dropped. He thought, okay, body kick's coming. I'm gonna drop there, and it just glanced off the top of the dome, breaking his equilibrium, giving him a little bit of a chicken dance. And those follow-up shots, that ground and pound, was like 2-3 sniper shots. Like Faeez was a sniper in that instant. He was coming to execute. He wasn't coming to fight. And he just showed that when he comes in with that intent, he's very, very difficult to deal with, and he's a real problem.
He is the champion. He is looking to go to the UFC, and I think he might just get his wish after a performance like that. Now, Ola, having a look at the picture on the screen, we see back there Conrad Siabi. We see Aniset Kanyeba in white at the back there, the showstopper. We see, I can't remember his first name, He fought a few fights ago with his hands in his head. Watching a fight like this as the coaching team or as a supporter of Sibusiso, and I'm sure you were on. Wait, who are you supporting this fight? Who did you have?
No, I did have Faeez going into this fight.
Oh, okay, so you were chill.
I had Troublemaker going into this fight.
But how do you think it feels getting your fighter taken out like that in basically the biggest fight of his life?
It's one of the worst things, especially if it happens in front of your coaches, in front of in front of your corner. Usually, when things like that happens, the guy that's finishing the fight probably would prefer it to happen where his people are. I remember when Faeez was in the corner of Luke Michaels, he did everything to be on that side so he could get information from Faeez, and I saw him actively looking towards that corner, like what do you guys see? What should I do next? He was asking him, but in this case, it didn't quite happen for Sibusiso like that, and for that to happen in front of his corner, it's got to be devastating. Because look, as Patrick knows, you guys, when you get into the cage in the hex, you guys are the final product. The people that actually put the work together is your whole team, your whole gym, your coaches, your sparring partners, the people that help you cut weight. All those people are the main people that really put the fight together. You just the final product of what's been done over a period of time to go in there and execute the game plan, execute the nutrition, the physical work that you've put in. You gotta go out there now and not execute it. But if that's happening in front of your people, even you as a fighter in the cage, you've got to be feeling some type of way that God, you're not even thinking about letting yourself down. You're thinking about letting everybody down. That's worked you to the point where you're able to get into the cage and compete. And for that to happen, it's got to be very, very disappointing for the team. But they have to go back to the drawing board and and see what see where they go from there. Maybe at least look for a sensible matchup that can get him back in the win column.